So in today's video, I'll be rating some things overrated or underrated relating to Rainbow Six Siege. If this video gets enough likes, I will do a part 2. Comment down below some things you want me to rate. Let's get right into the video.
Champion rank.
Champion ranked is 100% overrated in my opinion. The reason why champion ranked is overrated is because there's so many champions and there's just no point in it. All champion is like an upgraded version of diamond. Literally, if you play the game enough, you can get it. If you 5-stack, you can get it. With the elo system, it's plus 25, when back in the day when you used to try to get diamond, you would only gain like up to 2 elo the more games that you played. Then the devs decided to release the bare minimum of getting plus 25 elo, and if you play enough games, you can get champion, especially if you're in a 5-stack or you just get boosted or whatever. I don't think ranked in general, like your rank doesn't really define you as a player, because champion is just diamond in my opinion, with more games played. There's a lot of plat 2, plat 1 and diamond players that can definitely be champion if they were in the right environment. It kind of rewards the people that 5-man, and it discourages people that solo and duo queue. Ranked in general is just overrated because it's based on wins and not how you perform or your cost rating or how you play around a team. So champion, overrated.
Console players.
Console players are underrated. A lot of people, and I mean a lot, especially people who have never played console, they meme on console players, and I'm talking about legitimate controller players. There's been tons and tons and tons and tons of console players that switched over to PC and they became pros. They've hit champion very easily, and all the IQ that they brought over from console swapped over. I feel like a lot of console players are just limited to their resources. A lot of them are on 60 FOV, 69 aspect ratio. They're on a controller, which is hard when you have no aim assist. So you're going to look very bad comparing to a PC player that is using MNK. Even Zim Apex, like people that use Zim Apex, they still look stupid because they're running a high DPI. They're on 60 FOV, all of that. Even though they are cheating, they just look awful. People need to stop the stereotype of thinking console players are bad, because they're not.
Zim Apex.
Overrated. If you have to use a third-party device to gain an advantage on legitimate players to become a good player, you're just awful. And I think it's stupid that people are wasting their money on a USB stick so you can use MNK on console. Just save up and buy PC.
Bolo.
Bolo is 100% underrated just because of his impact on Siege in general. He's the reason why a lot of players play the way that they play. These cracked underagers, they kind of picked up the way he used to play and they brought it into ranked, and that's okay. Some people might dislike it, but even just see Bolo's growth as a content creator and a pro league player. He went from being a kid that would swing everything to gaining a lot of IQ and becoming one of the best pro league players. So just besides that, him as a content creator is highly underrated as well, because he had a huge impact on the Siege community. He's the reason why a lot of people play Siege and play the way that they do play.
Pro League.
Pro League is also underrated. Now, the reason why Pro League's underrated is because if you look at other pro scenes in other games like Rocket League, Apex, Valorant, etc., we don't have the same viewer base as other games, and I don't know what it is, because Siege is very, very fun to watch at the pro level. Maybe it's because it's hard to grasp when it's year 6 and you're just getting into Siege, or maybe you just don't have a lot of time to sit down and watch like a 2-hour game. It's very understandable, but I feel like Pro League is very underrated, and I feel like that's partly also because the promotion side of just Pro League in general. Because if you look at Rocket League, the way that they Rocket League, I believe, has their own tab in game that tells you who's playing, and I think there's even a live section where you can sit there and watch. I feel like if Siege did that in their game and added a pro section that tells you the schedule, it'd bring in a lot more viewer base. Not only that, but like Ubisoft doesn't allow us to co-stream. Like Pangu, for example, has wanted to co-stream and watch his perspective. I feel like that would bring more interest into the pro scene, because sure, watching Pro League from casters and all that is really great because there's a lot of very talented casters, but maybe that's not how you want to consume that type of content. Maybe you're a more casual fan base and you can kind of ask questions for, like, for example, Pangu. If I sat in Pangu's chat and I was a casual viewer of Pro League, just getting into it, I can actually ask him questions and he can respond. Something great that I would really like to see for Siege, and I feel like it'd really help the pro scene in terms of viewership.
Jaeger acog.
Now, a lot of you kids that just started playing the game the last few years, you probably have never experienced Jaeger acog. It's literally Jaeger acog. It's an AR on defense with an acog. It's I think it's properly rated. I feel like a lot of people either love it or hate it, but I would say it's properly rated because it's a AR with an acog. Now if you think about it, now if he had acog, his gun would probably be really hard to control because of the recoil, but I think it's properly rated.
Ash after nerf.
I'm gonna say she's underrated at the moment because like a lot of people are being over exaggerated about Ash now. They say that she's useless because of recoil and all that, and she did lose one Ash charge. So there are definitely more attractive picks. For example, like Zofia, she has more burning capability and just utility in general. But I think people are always going to pick Ash just because of her speed. And I feel like people are going to learn her recoil. It's really just a different animation. I feel like that was a big, you know, I feel like the community in general just overhypes a lot of stuff. And they basically think that an operator is useless because they now have a little bit of recoil. I feel like over the next month or two, people will learn it and they'll just be fine. And you'll definitely still see Ash played in Pro League.
Pangu.
Pangu's literally one of the most consistent individuals in the Siege community. He's the reason why a lot of people still play Siege and watch Siege. He's a great person to learn from as well. So I just think he's underrated, man. If you don't watch Pengu or you haven't watched him play pro, go watch him. He's had a huge impact on Siege, and anybody that thinks he's overrated really doesn't understand his impact on the Siege community.
Reworked maps.
Are we underrated? I don't want to say overrated because I feel like as the Siege community, we kind of like are very dramatic with stuff. Like when it comes to Skyscraper, for example, people like shit on that map. And they still do. They ban it. They played it once. They think it's odd, so they just stopped, you know, playing it. They think it's automatically a bad map. Same with Canal. Same with even some people that don't like the new border. I wish Favela was added into ranked. I don't understand why they put all the resources and work for a casual map. I feel like I've played Favela and it's definitely not that bad comparing to some of the maps that's in the map pool right now, like Bank is very bad. I feel like reworks are very good for the game, but I feel like a lot of people feel like releasing reworks feel very dry in terms. That's why people hate reworks, but I'm actually a big fan of it because you look at the competitive side of it, it makes maps a lot better. Like I, to be honest, haven't seen a very bad rework. Even Canal, like Canal's a ranked map. I can never see that being in a pro play, but it's a ranked map. It's not that bad. Same with Skyscraper. If you experience the old Skyscraper comparing to the new Skyscraper, you're gonna prefer the new Skyscraper over the old.
Elite skins.
I'm gonna say overrated. I feel like there's way better skins all around, like just from their weekly or monthly releases, in terms of like newer skins, in terms of new bundles, in terms of, you know, Pro League skins. There's a lot better options in my opinion. Until mix and matching comes in with the elite skins, they're gonna be overrated. Why would you want to run some bland, you know, Fuse, you know, elite skin when you can use one of his pro skins, or, you know, any other skins that's more appealing? So I just think elite skins at the moment are very overrated. Training ground / T-hunt / learning area is overrated as hell. When in terms of like learning recoil and just basic fundamentals of the game, I feel like just the training area just doesn't do it, especially like the situations and stuff. They're very bad. I feel like all of them need to be reworked. Situations, for example, they need to be put in maybe pro situations, hire some pro players, get them to sit down and, you know, break down their own point of views from a pro scenario, and break down why they did certain scenarios. That situations would make a lot more sense than running glass and going to pick up a hostage when hostage isn't even in ranked. There's so many operators in the game now that it's so hard to understand and play every operator, see what you like to run, see what's viable. And to be honest, casual and unranked isn't the best places to even like play those operators, because one, you have a lot of people that troll, TK, do a bunch of dumb stuff, and it's very irritating, to be honest. So you're forced to go into ranked, throw your rank to try to learn operator, try to learn utility usage. And I feel like that's a huge problem, and why Siege doesn't attain more and more player base, and like it's so hard for them to actually enjoy the game, because you're kind of jumping on the train a little late in terms of playing Siege. So definitely overrated. We need a better situations, we need a better training grounds, better T-hunt, everything. Because like cool, Aim Labs is doing some great work with Siege in terms of PC, but we need something that's universal, that's built in for the game, for console players and PC players, that will actually teach them the game. Now if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see me do a part 2, list some things that you want me to rate down in the comments, and be sure to like, sub, and comment. And you can come check me out on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Link will be down in the description. Thank you so much for watching the video. One love.